You're listening to Up the Turnpike with hosts Mitch Anderson and Matt O'Leary.
Cheers to victories, everyone. Welcome to Up the Turnpike's post-game show following the Islanders' 2-1 win over the Vegas Golden Knights. I was at hockey, which is why I have this toque on, but it's getting too hot in here. You can see how sweaty I am and how my hair looks horrible and how little of it I've got. So I'm going to do my best to comb it over and look kind of presentable here. But I just got back from playing hockey where I got lit up. Unlike Ilya Sorokin tonight, stopped 33 of 34 shots here for the win, right? It was Sorokin in net, was it not? My friend Matt can certainly help me here. Oh, I think I added and removed him at the same time. No, I got to do that. There we go.
There we go.
Buddy, what the hell happened?
Ilya Sorokin went off again.
That's what I was telling everyone. I got lit up at hockey tonight. But
okay.
Ilya Sorokin very much did not.
No. Spoiler, stopped 33 of 34. Puck face.
That's amazing. I looked at obviously the goals that we scored. And then I saw shots on goal 14. Holy Christ. Insane stuff.
That's unreal.
Yeah.
That is absolutely unreal stuff. Sorokin, I believe 9-1 in his last 10 outings. Someone had it. I'll pull up the exact numbers while you talk here, but he's been unbelievable.
Yeah. So maybe we don't go through the typical kind of post game because both of us were predisposed for the game. Matt, I'm sure you had it on at least on a TV, but in the background, right?
Yes. That's my Tuesday routine. As I just finished up with the Talking Jets crew. So now hopped in over here. Yeah, Sorokin, Rob Taub tweeted it out. 9-1 in his last 10. Talk about a heater.
Yeah, outstanding. So instead of a typical post game where we kind of go through the motions and dictate to you, I feel like we kind of flip it and they dictate to us. So we'll rely heavily on the comments as we go through. I think it would be fair, right?
Let's do it.
All right. First one. I'm so torn watching this team win games because I know that means Lou will not sell. Maybe, but then Gary's like, stock price goes up, baby.
Yeah, because you did get a goal from Brock Nelson, right? And hang on, I scroll over on my side and see what goal number 16.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a 20 goal scorer again this year, you would think, right? At 30 might be out of the conversation at this point, but so, yeah. It's 16 in 53 games, so that's not a math guy. But give me a second here. 25 goal pace.
Pretty damn good, man. Pretty damn good to hit the free agency market, or not even free agent, the trade deadline market. That's pretty damn good for any Stanley Cup contender out there. And we're watching the visualization of the goal here, and it's a really nice deflection. I don't know where he's going here to begin. He's going back to the bench, I guess. And Patty's like, no, go back. And he does it because watch how far he is here. Watch him. He's at the bench. Look, he eventually scores a goal here, and he's not carrying the puck.
Yeah. So that's got to be what it was, right? He was going off for a change, and they're like, no, not yet. Loop it back around, Brocky.
Yeah, and then he does that, and he goes right to the goddamn. It's like he went to the bench and said, Engvall, look at me. I'm the captain now. And he goes over, not that Pierre Engvall's the captain, but you get the reference. He runs to the net.
Oh, his stick broke. Thank you.
Oh.
That makes it. See? That helps significantly. So new stick goes right back in. Boom.
Never get rid of that stick. Always a new stick. But yes, great shot by Romanov here from Walter. Great blue line movement here from Tony DeAngelo. We didn't see it there, but he got a nice little pass with Siplikov to open up that lane so he can pass it down the blue line. It's good stuff from Tony D. And then Romanov just doing his goddamn thing again.
Yeah, Romanov has been awesome. Tony DeAngelo, 4 points in 6 games with the Islanders. He's got points in 3 straight, I believe, now. Good for him.
Friggin' go, Romy. I can't open it from here for some reason. But I think if I go this way for Brock Nelson, and then I select Alex Romanov. I've been told that I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. I believe I'm pronouncing it correctly. But anyways, share tab. Romy's hasn't scored in 3 straight games for some reason. But
I was talking D'Angelo, bud.
Oh, sorry, D'Angelo. There we go. That makes more sense, I think. And here we go. Yeah, 3 points in a row. 4 points in his last 5. Yeah.
He's been very productive offensively for the Islanders.
Absolutely. It's good to see because he's here. He's not going anywhere. Might as well have a good time while you're here, buddy.
Absolutely.
Okay, back to comments here. The parade is back on from Ray.
Yeah, get it. Hempstead Turnpike's going to be shutting down in June this year.
And then Lev Log, greatest team on ice, 19 Blues. Here we go.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't think now he can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember seeing Left Lock in the stream on Sunday night after the Islanders lost. But Islanders back in the win column, so Left Lock is back to push his agenda, and I am here for it.
I am also here for it. I friggin' love it. So what? Andre, goddamn, come on, that would suck so much. Maybe not. I don't want to make it seem like I don't want Brock Nelson here, but the implication of that means that we don't have the assets to retool, right? That's the kind of negative, right?
That would be the negative. 5-year extension's way too long. I don't want this to be the case, right? Mm-hmm. But it's a little different if it's like 2 years at a discounted price. And again, that's not what I'm advocating for. I think with how things are going and the needs for this team, that you need to sell high on a guy like that because you will never get that opportunity again. I forget who it was too, but people were going through and talking like Brock Nelson options. And it was, I don't get, the first person was like, I don't get the trade Brock Nelson route. What if, Lou says he wants to sign him? What if he gets him on a cheap deal or whatever? And then another one came in like, well, they could just let him leave in free agency and then you free up the $6 million anyway, and you could use that money elsewhere. I was like, that's a horrible idea. Then you get nothing of value back. Yeah. The whole point of the trade is you get the money freed up and you also get additional assets, another player, a young roster player, a draft selection. You're getting an asset and the money. If you're going the third route that we just mentioned there, you're only getting one of those two things.
Yeah. It's about managing your assets and managing your resources. And in this case, it's not only players, but it's future assets going forward. And so you need to manage that appropriately. And by moving him, by trading him to recoup those assets, you can't just let him walk. Yes. Like if that is what happens, at least we get $6 million out of it. But sure. At that case, I'd almost rather keep Brock, trade Jean-Gabriel Pajot, or hopefully that happens at least. And then he becomes our third line center. Like that's worst case scenario to me. And that's not a bad worst case, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not ideal. It's not ideal.
No, I get what you're saying though, right? Because they're around the same age-wise, right? Let's see. Yes. And obviously Pajot is a third line guy. He is 32, so he's a year younger or 2 years younger than Brock Nelson. He's a 92 baby, and Brock Nelson is a 91. Yeah. So he's a year younger than Brock. Brock, obviously a better all-around player. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It would have to be a pretty significant discount, though, right? If he's going to sign on to be your third line center.
Yeah. Face-off numbers are certainly not the same, with Pajot being nearly 60% and Brock at, I think it was 53.7.
Yeah.
Which is the lowest for our 4 centers, which is wild that's the worst one, still winning more than half of his face-offs.
They're the best face-off team in the league. If they have something going for them, it's that.
Yeah. And then David Larson's just saying like, well, Lou will do the right thing. I hope so. I was on that train for a long time. And then when I hear the rumors, like from Arthur Staple, very reputable source, obviously, saying like, it seems that he wants to keep him, you go like, I don't know, man.
No. Yeah. That's what they classify as not ideal in the business.
Yeah. A few Ilya is back, right, from Hockey Life 21, from Andre. And you look at, as you said here, if I share this
Oh,
tab,
sorry, my bad.
yeah. Oh, I added, no, what is happening here? There we go. This is Sorokin's game logs all season long. But you look at those, like Rob was tweeting out 9-1 in his last 9. It does not include today's game, obviously. But you look at all those W's and look at those save percentages. 867 and 826 are the worst ones. Other than that, well over 930.
Yeah, and just about every single night, man. Like you had 970. Was it 973 tonight?
Mm-hmm.
I believe. Yeah, 971. Excuse me.
Close.
So working backwards, 971, 933, 1,000, 938, 1,000 on each face the one shot in overtime. 967, 962. Guy is playing out of his freaking mind right now.
Yeah. And like his season numbers are not great in a 908 and a 263. That's just because of the beginning of the year, which was not great by his standards in any way, shape, or form. But it's trending upwards. It's getting closer to his career average here. Good to see. It was 905 just a couple days ago. It's 908 now, and that does not include today. So
no, and also too, and this isn't an excuse because he's obviously playing significantly better now than he was earlier in the year. He's probably going to play another 20 games this year. Yeah. So if he continues, maybe not at this stretch, this seems like a pretty wild stretch, but if he continues trending in this direction where it's most nights well over a 900 save percentage, you're probably going to see that thing end up at 915 to 918, somewhere in that range, I would guess.
Yeah. We got something here about Horvat. Lou doesn't get enough credit for pulling off that trade. Guy's our best player easily, and we didn't give up anything worthwhile. Yeah,
they gave the first round pick is definitely worthwhile, I would say. But you dumped Beauvillier, who hasn't been able to catch on anywhere since, and Ratu. Probably best case scenario is a third line center at the NHL one day, right?
Yeah, I think it would be second line if the Vancouver Canucks ever wisened up and actually used him. They just don't want to use him. There's a good player there, and they just don't want to tap into it, it seems. I don't get it. But yeah, Bo Horvat, man, 19 goals on the year here, set up by Pelech and Siplikov, just continues to do the thing even when Matt Barzal is not around. So look at that. Just beats the guys clean, and friggin' hell.
Right in. I don't want to that might have came off as me poo-pooing Hockey Life's comment, and I didn't. That's not my intention. Bo Horvat's probably my favorite guy on the team now at this point. He's one of my guys on this roster, and I think he's definitely part of the group that you're gonna build with going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. From State of Survival saying, I was just thinking when everyone gets healthy, we got a lot of right shot D. We can make a serious move. Lewis has to trade someone before TDL, the trade deadline, or be forced to waive newly acquired assets. Got a point there, right?
Yeah, he does. Guys are eventually going to get healthy, and who knows? There's still a month to the trade deadline, so a lot can happen in the next 4 weeks or so. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
This is interesting. So Andre saw a trade proposal where Nelson gets traded to Colorado, and we get Casey Middlestad. I don't know if it's 1-for-1 or if there's more going on in that. I would assume it'd be more than just Casey Middlestad.
I would hope so.
I'm not too keen on bringing in Casey Middlestad. He's the main piece. There's got to be more to that. His first has to come back. I don't even know if they've got that one. I don't think so. With the trades that they've made already this year, and something. Just Casey Middlestad is underperforming, and Colorado picked him up hoping he'd be something, and is clearly not. So they're not trading him in a position of power, if you will.
Yeah, he's got, after this year, 2 more years at a 5.75 cap hit. He is playing, for reference, on their lines. Let's see. I would assume the second line center. He's not a great face-off guy.
No.
But
maybe we can teach him to be, right? Matthew Barzal is turning out to be an okay face-off guy when he needs to take one finally.
Yeah, that's true. And he's obviously younger, right? He's 26 years old. It's not a bad thought. I think you would need more than just Middlestad for me in that deal.
Yeah, no, absolutely. 100%. A couple of Barry Trott's era hockey is back. Barry, wow.
Dude, that's what it's reminded me of watching the 2020 Islanders, watching this team right now. They won a game 2-1 and they had 14 shots on goal and their goalie played out of his mind. That's exactly what it reminds me of.
Absolutely. Man, they had I want to show you these. The underlying numbers. The Islanders had in 5-5-on-5 0.9 expected goals for and scored twice. Woo, baby. I love to see that. Absolutely love it. Good job by them. And like they got pummeled in every other department. Corsi, high danger chances, expected goals, but they still won. Freaking love it.
Yep.
From Jeremy, in looking at teams that need to climb, Detroit, Buffalo, Montreal, Ottawa to get up with Boston, Tampa Bay, Florida, Toronto, do you think one of these teams would be a taker on, say, Dobson for one of their young forwards? I mean, Buffalo certainly would.
Yeah, I would think Buffalo. And who would you be trying to pry out from Buffalo?
I mean, give me the workhorse from Whitehorse, Dylan Cousins. I don't know if that's too much. Again, please, anyone listening to me rattle off like trade proposals, take them with a grain of salt because they have not been fully sussed out. This is just my mind going, this is what I would like to have.
He's still young. Yeah. He had one really awesome year a couple of years ago. Has been relatively disappointing this year.
Yeah.
Last year was just okay. 18 goals, 47 points in 79 games. You're probably going to need, again, I would think something else.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's why I'm really more concerned with it. Just because you can get more and the potential's there. He's also a big kid. Right? He's like 6'3", 6'4", is he not? 200? He's very Brock Nelson built, which would suit us.
I like one of this. I'm going to pop this one up.
Yes.
Marco Rossi in a second for Brock Nelson. I might even do that just flat up, straight up. Honestly.
I would absolutely. And if there's any Minnesota Wild fans in the chat, please tell us what you would think otherwise, but I'd be so down with that. Absolutely.
That's the exact kind of thing that I'm looking for. 23-year-old, 46 points in 53 games, 18 goals. Yes, Marco Rossi. That would be awesome. Now, are they willing to part with him? We don't know. We have no idea.
I don't think they want to, but man, sometimes you got to move to get something. So you got to get something, right?
Like the Brassard and Zibanejad trade from all those years ago. Mm-hmm. That's what it would remind me of in a way.
Absolutely, 100%. Andre, this team is better because they have much better puck moving defensemen. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, D'Angelo and Perunovic have definitely done that. They've come in and been able to skate the puck out of the zone.
Yeah, it's obviously a big help. Same thing with Adam Boquist. Like you got guys who can move it. Huge. You're not so stuck in there type of thing. So big wins for Lou and big win on the board for us. Although Alon, yes, it is completely unsustainable. 100%.
Yeah, 1,000%. And no disagreement from me, Alan.
Yeah, and Walter's adding a bit of context here in terms of that those shots here. He was there. A lot of the shots came from outside. And I think I can bring in the graph to kind of corroborate that. Look at that. All these shots here from Vegas on the outside of the perimeter. Sure, they've got quite a bit here, but like we're talking about 4+ attempts in the middle. Everything else is outside of that. There's not a whole lot going on here.
Yeah, it is a lot of outside and high slot. The Islanders have not more attempts, but their attempts are much closer to the front of the net.
Exactly. 100%. So thank you for that context, Walter. Satyr vs. Survival calling me out. I went to bed already. This is not bed hair. It's hockey hair, even though I don't have a whole heck of a lot of it. Look at the forehead here. Right there. It's reversed. My God, it's basically palm size. That's insane. I just got to cut it off eventually. Ridiculous. Not to crap on our boys from Sloppy, but what's wrong with Vegas? 2-5-3 in their last 10. Yeesh.
Yeah, they haven't been great over this last little bit of a stretch here, but I mean, I still look at them as one of the more dangerous teams going into the playoffs.
Yeah, they can turn it on at any second. The fact that they're still even just getting scoring from a guy they picked up after being bought out, love it.
Yeah.
Love it for Saad. I forgot that he was still in the league. I thought he was just way too old for this.
He and playing okay. I don't think he was last year. He had 42 points last year. 26 goals.
There you go. So different game when picks and passes get through from the point seems to have improved during the streak. Goaltending number one reason. Yeah, absolutely. Like doing the simple things right.
Hard agree. No notes. I have no notes on that one. Bruce nailed it here.
I don't understand. Have y'all seen the FA? Okay, have y'all seen the FA center market? It's like Sam Bennett and garbage. Yeah, so we're gonna have the run of the market, is what Walter's basically putting out here.
Well, yeah, Sam Bennett and Brock Nelson likely on that market, and like that's why you might have to find a trade here to have someone to fill in, because we're talking second line, like who will fill in for second line center if you move on from Brock Nelson, which is a fair question. I would say you probably have to figure that out in the trade.
Yeah, 100%. That's the whole point of the trade, or you recoup some pieces knowing what you have to do going forward, right? Like you have guys on a short list type of thing. I like this here from Andre. The winning streak shows you a retool won't take long. Good pieces to work with. That's really it. It's just we move off from what we can move off, and we recoup what we can to further this along and bring in the pieces that we need.
Correct.
Yeah. But Spiz is mighty sad. Stupid if team can't even tank properly.
They were never tanking to begin with, though.
It's true. It's true. As much as we would want a change here, and we might still get it, right? We might still get that change, Spiz. So we can have nice things potentially. When I forget
what they're supposed to, if they do what they can't even speak now. If they do what they're supposed to do in the next month.
Yeah, exactly. From Jackson Kaplan, who says, interested on your take on what Siplikov's next contract would look like. $2.5 to $3 million because of the raise in the cap, I would say.
Yeah, I was thinking like probably $3 million for a 2-year bridge deal, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because he's 26 years old now. I don't see him getting a long-term deal after 1 year. I do think he gets a bridge and a pretty nice bump up in pay. But I'm thinking around $3 million on a 2 or 3 year deal, something like that.
Absolutely. 100%. And that's based off what we see now. We still have another 30 games for him to just kind of really settle into life in the NHL and go like, okay, I know what I need to do. I think someone mentioned it earlier about Romanov really kind of clicking recently. I'm sorry if I there it is. It's Walter, has been awesome since coming back, from that suspension. So now that he's picking it up, maybe he settles into a more productive role, and that really just kind of clicks even more money for him.
Yeah. And he has 23 points now on the year after tonight. He's probably going to end, if I had to guess, and hopefully it's more, but I was going to guess maybe between 35 and 40.
Yeah.
And that's, if that's what you're getting from him, on a third line, and, he's a big body, physical, net front presence. All right, then you found, a relatively productive middle six guy for you.
Absolutely. 100%. Again, 4-game point streak here since January 30th. He's up to 23 points in 49 games. Pretty good for a guy you signed out of Russia. And I know I said at the beginning of the year, I fully well remember, like, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't like his skating, blah, 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 full on shit bag over here from me. And he's proving me wrong. And he's proved me wrong since day one. So friggin' love it. Absolutely love it.
He's been solid. I don't know if he's like that top line guy. That I think some were maybe amping it up a little bit too much, but
right.
I know I don't necessarily want to speak for you, but I'm pretty sure we were on the same wavelength. I thought he would be more of a fourth line guy and maybe give you close to like 20, 25 points on the year, but clearly I think he's more than that, which is good.
Absolutely. A few Tony D praises here from the Cousin Mo's. I might really like Tony D's game, and even Jeremy Ford. D'Angelo looks like a pretty good pickup. Well, on the ice for sure. Lee Palm, Cizikas will take care of the off ice stuff in the dressing room. Lou likes the unexpected pickup players. They're both right. He's working, man.
I was just going to say that that definitely worked out through his first 6 games with the Islanders. So, he's with these injuries, he's going to get a nice little run here to prove himself.
Yeah, 100%. If anyone thinks this team will win in the postseason, they're sadly mistaken. Therefore, keeping 21, 29, maybe 44 through the deadline would be a huge mistake. I don't think anyone is convinced, like, let's go, we're winning the cup, baby. But they're clearly going for it. You have to enjoy the ride, or try to, because otherwise you're just going to be mad and it's not going to help anything.
It would be, I would say it's definitely a massive mistake if they don't trade Brock Nelson, in my opinion. And I would like to trade one of the two of Palmieri or Pajot. That's my expectation. If they move all 3, I'm okay with that. And that would probably be my happiest scenario, because I think that will put them in their best position to retool it quicker if they do move all 3 guys. But I think it needs to be at least 2 of the 3 guys that Alan lists off here.
100%. I'm getting some advice on my hair here in the comments. Orbican's asking me to just buy a wig.
Nice.
There. Spiz is telling me to go bald is beautiful. And even Simon Holmstrom is saying, like, Mr. Clean Cut would be generational.
Mitch with the Mr. Clean Cut would be generational. That's my favorite comment of the night.
Yeah, I did already cut went bald for my wedding. My mother went through cancer and I shaved it all off. And I was basically bald I had just like a little bit of fuzz when I got married. So all of my wedding pictures are just nothing here. So I might go back to it at some point soon.
What was the most important question? What was the take from Steph? Did she like the look?
Absolutely.
Okay, so then you're good. Then you're golden.
Good. Exactly. She's not gonna be mad at all. Whatever. She wants curls, and because my hair does curl naturally, and I hate managing that crap. It also looks like I put my finger in a socket, which I don't want to do that. Yeah. So Ben is saying they being the Minnesota Wild here, they're getting Nelson for free next year. Rossi has so much value. It doesn't make sense to spend on something you're getting anyway. That's a fair point. Right? Like, why would they go like, okay, cool, we'll definitely trade you Rossi. He's going free agent. We're going to get him. Unless
they think they can win a Stanley Cup this year and they believe that Brock Nelson gives them a better chance. But Ben brings up there's a really valid point and is something to consider. But I would definitely, my rebuttal to that would be the only scenario where they do it is if they believe that they need a Brock Nelson type.
Yeah.
Because he's a more well-rounded center at this point in his career, although the potential for Rossi is off the charts.
Yeah, it really is. Absolutely. 100%. I love it. What else we got here in the comments? Sloppy saying, do you guys know anything about Liam Greentree in the Kings organization? He's 6'3" winger in the OHL, 90 points in 64 games last year, 80-47 this year. Wow. Kings are cap strapped, but we could use LTIR space. Yeah, 100%. I want to see Lou weaponize all of his assets, and that includes the cap.
Sure.
So, like, if he can do that, say, like, we got cap space to burn, baby, in terms of, like, going into LTIR, then use it, man. Why the hell not? What do you have to lose?
Yeah, I don't know a ton about him.
No, I don't know either.
He's a big guy. Obviously, he was late first round pick from this past year's draft. Interesting.
Yeah. Here's an interesting wrinkle on what we were talking about with Brock Nelson and the Minnesota Wild here from Simon Holmstrom.
Okay.
The Wild are struggling with scoring. Nelson might also get traded to other teams. So it's kind of fitting into what you're saying. Like, if they want to win a cup, they kind of need him. There you go. There's something there. Like, maybe he'd be forced, he being Bill Guerin, to do it now.
Yeah, and they have roughly the same amount of goals. Rossi has 18 on the year. His career high is 21. Again, it would be a pretty big gamble on their part, but again, maybe they just think they need like the guy who's been there and done it as a 2C rather than someone who's 23 and winning under 40%. Under 50% of their faceoffs. Exactly.
100%. Max here, like, I'm still waiting for an Instagram post for some random guy from Siberia being signed who'll end up being a 100-point player. He had one just a second ago, or there was someone else talking about Shaban. It was Ben.
Okay.
Wait till we get Shabanov next season. That's a guy who killing it in Russia and has been linked to the Islanders of other teams. Again, in the very Maxim Siplikov kind of situation. Russian free agent, killing it in the KHL. We might be in on him.
Yeah, he's essentially a point per game guy over there, 51 points in 54, and he's 24 years old. He's small, though, 5'8", 156.
He is a short king for sure, but absolutely killing it, which would be it. That would be it for us. If we can add that for free, that'd be huge. Obviously, outside of money free, what I'm talking about.
Right.
And then Gary saying, well, so Rosie's 5'9", so like not like we're too far off here.
Yeah, but that's another interesting point too, because Brock Nelson's clearly a bigger guy than that. Not that he's throwing the body around like crazy here, but what's he listed as? 6'4", 205. Like very different style of player.
100%. Craig, unfortunately, like us, missed the game. King Ilya, though, putting his 3-year-old to bed. Been there, done that, Craig. I get it. I know what it's like.
A tough one.
It is great. And then final one here from our from the GOAT Chad. Hit the like and subscribe button, please.
Drop a like and subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. Islanders have a few days off. They're not back in action until Friday. You get a little back-to-back Friday, Saturday action, so we'll have you covered for that. But that'll do it for us on this post-game stream. The Islanders win. The story is Ilya Sorokin in this one steals it from the Vegas Golden Knights, and we'll take it. Right, Mitch?
Absolutely. Let's take those 2 points and run with it, please. More of that.
All right, that'll do it. I'm Matt. He's Mitch, and we will catch you next time.